Episode 1. It's not about how smart you are. Have you ever wondered why some people with high-paying jobs still live paycheck to paycheck, while others with average incomes retire early with complete financial freedom? It's not about being smarter. It's not about going to the best schools. It's not about reading 100 finance books. It's about behavior. In this episode, we're going to explore one of the most misunderstood truths about money, that intelligence and knowledge don't guarantee wealth. What is? The way you think, feel, and act around money. Let's get into it. Most people think money is about math. It's not. We grow up thinking that if you're good at math, you'll be good with money. That if you're logical, you'll make rational financial decisions. But that's not how it works in the real world. If money was purely logical, nobody would have credit card debt. Nobody would chase get-rich-quick schemes. Nobody would try to time the market based on what their cousin said on Facebook. In reality, money is emotional. It's personal. It's driven by habits, fears, upbringing, and your own unique experiences. Here's a question to ask yourself. Do I make money decisions based on facts or based on feelings? That question alone can completely change the way you handle your finances. The real story behind wealth: behavior over brilliance. Let's take two people. Person A is a financial advisor with a master's degree. They know all about compound interest, tax strategy, investing, the whole package. But they live beyond their means. They lease a new car every year. They're constantly upgrading their lifestyle. They don't save consistently. They invest emotionally. Person B is a high school janitor. He lives modestly. He avoids debt. He saves 10 to 15% of his income every month. He invests in basic index funds. He doesn't try to outsmart the market. 30 years later, guess who's wealthy? It's Person B. This isn't a made-up story. It actually happened. Ronald Red, a janitor and gas station attendant, died in 2014 with over $8 million in savings. Most people in his town had no idea. Why? Because his behavior was disciplined. He didn't try to be clever. He was consistent. Meanwhile, countless high-income professionals end up broke or barely getting by, not because they didn't know enough, but because they didn't behave wisely. Everyone sees money differently. One of the biggest ideas in the psychology of money is this: no two people see money the same way. Think about your childhood. How did your parents talk about money? Was it stressful? Was it free and abundant? Was it never discussed at all? Now, compare that to someone who grew up in a totally different environment. If you were raised during a financial crisis, you might view money as something to fear, something that can vanish overnight. If you were raised in a booming economy, you might take financial risk more easily, assuming things always bounce back. What's normal for you could seem reckless to someone else, and what's cautious to you might seem paranoid to others. There's no single correct way to view money, but understanding that everyone sees it differently can help you make better, more personal decisions. It also helps you stop copying others blindly. Ask yourself, what shaped my beliefs about money? What fears or assumptions am I carrying that might not be true? Luck and risk, the two sides nobody talks about. Let's talk about two uncomfortable truths: luck and risk. We love to believe that success is purely earned, that if someone is rich, they worked harder, that if someone is poor, they were lazy or careless. But the truth is, luck plays a huge role in money. Being born in the right time period, the right country, the right family. These things matter more than we want to admit. Likewise, risk is real. One medical emergency, one market crash, one job loss. Things can flip fast. So what do we do with this knowledge? We learn to be humble. Instead of thinking, I earned everything I have, it's more accurate and more helpful to think, I made good choices, yes, but I also got some breaks. Instead of judging others harshly, realize they may have faced risks you didn't. This mindset helps you be both more grateful and more cautious, a rare but powerful combination. What actually builds wealth over time? So if it's not intelligence, if it's not advanced strategy, what actually builds wealth? Here, it is in one sentence: consistent good behavior repeated over decades. That means saving regularly, spending less than you earn, avoiding unnecessary risk, letting your investments grow without interruption, staying calm when the market crashes, avoiding lifestyle inflation, being patient. It's not sexy, it's not flashy, but it works. The reason most people fail is not because they're dumb. It's because they can't stick with the boring stuff for long enough. So here's the challenge. Can you do something simple and smart and repeat it for 10, 20, 30 years without giving up? Because that's where wealth lives. The danger of thinking you're smarter than the market. Smart people love to believe they can beat the system. They try to time the market. They pick individual stocks. They jump on trends. They overanalyze. And most of the time, they underperform. Warren Buffett, arguably the greatest investor of all time, doesn't use fancy strategies. He avoids debt. He invests for the long term. He doesn't panic. Buffett's secret isn't brilliance. It's behavior. And perhaps even more importantly, it's time. He started investing as a child, and he's been doing it consistently for over 80 years. Most of his net worth came after he turned 60. It wasn't about being a genius. It was about patience. And that's something anyone can do. Let's make this personal. Now let's flip this back to you. What are the money behaviors you've developed that serve you well? What are the ones that could be holding you back? You don't need to be the smartest person in the room to get rich. You just need to be calm when others panic, patient when others rush, humble when others are overconfident. You don't need to know everything. You just need to do the right things consistently. Write this down. Wealth is not built by brilliance. Wealth is built by behavior. Let that become your motto. Wrap up and final thoughts. So what did we learn today? 1. Intelligence doesn't equal wealth. 2. Your behavior around money is what actually matters. 3. Everyone sees money differently based on their life experience. 4. Luck and risk are real, and we should stay humble about success. 5. Simple, consistent financial habits win over time. Remember this. You don't need to outsmart the market. You need to outbehave it. In the next episode, we'll dive into one of the most misunderstood forces in finance, the invisible power that separates the poor from the rich over time. And spoiler, it's got nothing to do with hard work. It's time, it's compounding, and it's way more powerful than you've ever imagined.